All right, it's April 11th. This is about the 10th time I've done this mission, the laser guided Maverick training mission. Let's get to it and I'll explain along the way. All right, so before I get into why I had to attempt this so many times, let me just explain real quick from this overview. Essentially, it's a two-part mission, and in the first part, which is much simpler, you're attacking a fixed target, which is an EWR, which is a radar building, early warning radar building. And that's pretty straightforward, although in the last 4 attempts, I was forgetting to do something that totally disrupted the targeting. I'll explain that when I get there. And the second part is where I had my biggest amount of trouble early on, like the first 3 times, and that is you're supposed to attack a moving target, a T-72 tank. And I'm going to let her do a little talking, and when it's time to hit the space bar, I'll explain where I had problems with that part 2 of the mission. You can see we're in the vicinity of the Beslan Air Force Base again, so let's start this flying first.
Welcome to the A10CII Tank Killer Laser Maverick AGM65L training. This lesson will build on skills taught in the HOTAS Fundamentals, AAQ28, Lightning II, and Precision Guided Munitions training flights. As such, this lesson assumes you are familiar with HOTAS functions and how to find, track, and laser designate a target. You begin at 12,500 feet MSL, 75 nautical miles west of your home airfield, Beslan Air Base. The first step will be to set up the aircraft for air-to-ground combat. When ready to continue, press the spacebar.
All right, so I wanted to explain all my grief first before we actually just go ahead and do the mission. And what you'll notice is this is the first time I've done a mission where they actively pause the simulation, so my aircraft is not moving, and that's why my speed is below 200. Everything's just frozen at the moment. So let's go ahead and go through the next part of this mission. Let's hit the space bar.
First, select AGM65L as the active weapon. On the left MFCD, select DSMS by pressing OSB 14. Then select stations 3 and 9 by pressing OSB 18 and 8 respectively. Select the Maverick display by pressing OSB 12, MAV. Next on the right MFCD, set up the TGP to ground by pressing OSB 2. Arm the laser designator and set master arm to on. Finally, using the steer rocker button on the UFC, set the steer point to 1 EWR. The first target is a 55G6 early warning radar facility on a hilltop. When flying towards the target, use standard HOTAS functions to find, track, and laser designate the target. Once those tasks have been completed, the additional functions for the Laser Maverick are to make the left MFCD MAV the SOI, and uncage the Seeker. The Seeker X will scan, then turn to a solid square when it acquires and locks the target. When ready to begin the attack run, press the spacebar.
So I don't really want to cheat by setting up the TGP right here, right now, while we're still paused. I'll hit the space bar, and then I've only got 13 miles to get myself set up with this target and get the laser turned on, and then start seeking, and then wait for the range to be at 7.8 before I fire the missile. But the last 4 times I did this, I ran into a huge problem. Every time I started the Maverick seeking by hitting the TMS forward short, my TGP would start tracking by itself all over the place like it lost its tracking. And it was driving me crazy. And then I got to thinking, in the previous attempts, I was pressing, when I would make the Maverick Soy, I was pressing the China Hat forward long to slave all of this other sensor displays to the TGP target speed, and I think that is what kept everything synced up on the TGP lock, so it didn't lose its lock. So I'm definitely going to do that this time and see if I maintain this TGP lock, because when that goes haywire, the laser is just painting all over the place, and the Maverick never hits its target. So first thing I'll do is get my speed set up and autopilot turned on. I'm going to set the fan speed to like 70, and that will give me a level speed of about 220 or so, and also get the trim set up and autopilot turned on so I can go ahead and optimize the TGP and get it locked, get the laser turned on, and then start the seeking. By then we will be virtually ready to fire the missile. Here we go. So fan speed first. Alright, let's try it again. Spacebar. Spacebar.
Set SP to SPI, TGP as SOI, find and track area or spot the target, set the track to SPI, laser designate the target. Make the left MFCD MAV SOI, coolie switch left long, uncage the seeker, TMS forward short.
Alright. TGP is soy. China Hat aft to get your target. Code switch aft. And then China Hat forward short for narrow. Zoom in. Let's slew. We'll leave it in area. Right here. TMS forward long. That's our target. Turn on the laser. Head over to the Maverick. TMS forward short. We're now seeking. It's seeking. Now we gotta get down.
Check the DLZ on the left
Warning,
side
autopilot.
of the left MFCD. When within
Lock.
range, fire a single AGM65L. Slow to 230 knots. Aim in rifle.
Fire. It's supposed to be seeking. The laser's still on. I'm supposed to seek the laser. Let's see where it is. Laser's on.
OOA.
Boom! It did hit the target.
Well done. Next, you will attempt to engage a moving target with an AGM65L. An armored column, 2 T-72s and a BMP-2, has just refueled at a fuel depot and is heading back to its base. Your target is either of the T-72 tanks. Set the steer point to petrol using the UFC steer rocker button. For this training run, we need to set the aircraft's laser code and the Maverick's laser code to 1564. Starting with aircraft laser code, on the right MFCD, press OSB 1. Next, enter 1564 on the UFC number pad.
1564.
Press right MFCD OSB A10CII to enter the code. You should see the code.
Laser
press right
designation
MFCD
code.
OSB 1 to return to the TGP display. On the left MFCD, ensure MAD is still SOI. Use the HOTAS bulb switch to change the laser code at the top of the screen to 1564. 1. Move the switch forward to set the cursor under the second digit from the left. 2. Move the switch aft to cycle digits between 1 and 7. 3. Move the switch to center to stop digit cycle. 4. Move the switch forward again to move the cursor to the next digit and repeat the process. When you are ready to continue, press the space bar.
Alright, so to move the cursor, one click, you do both switch forward, and we need to go to the second number for 1564, so this would be 5, and you move both switch aft to start counting, and when it gets to 5, we center it. Okay, both switch forward to the next one, both switch aft, this will be a 6. Both switch forward to go to the next one. Aft will be 4. Then both switch forward, you're supposed to go to the blank spot after it, and then you're supposed to switch to both switch aft so that it becomes a C. And that's turning on countermeasures or something, I don't know. Anyway, mission accomplished. Let's see what we do next.
Once flying, you will proceed with a standard laser designation process using the TGP-defined and laser designate a T-72 tank in the patrol. Use point track. Switch SOI to Maverick and establish a secret lock. When in range, fire the AGM65L and maintain laser lock to impact. Remember, line of sight to the target must be inside the secret view area, the map displayed dash circle. Maneuver to put the target on the aircraft's nose. When you are ready to fly the attack run, press the spacebar.
Alright, so a couple things. On that first target, I didn't actually have to fly directly at the target. I just had to fly with my nose near the target, and it's busy seeking it, but as soon as I fired the Maverick, the white square turned into an X like it was for the next Maverick, so I couldn't tell what I was doing, but it did end up hitting the original target from the TGP with the laser painted on it, so that was successful. Now to reiterate, this target, we're 24 miles away from Where is it? Here it is. The fuel depot is 24 miles away, but there's 3 vehicles that are moving right now. Well, I don't know if they're moving with everything paused, but 2 ground vehicles are the 2 T-72 tanks, and in front of those is an armored vehicle, and we don't know where they're at. But I don't know if I went through all of this at the beginning of the video, but I went into the mission editor and pulled up the training mission, so I know there's a road heading due south from the depot, and then if they get to the intersection of a road, they'll be taking a right and heading west. So that's what we're going to be looking for them. So let's see what happens. I'm going to slow down because 24 miles comes up pretty quick. We got plenty to do. So let's hit the space bar. Let's get up here, level flight. Actually, we want to get back up to 12,000 feet. So we're just going to fly in this direction until we get up to the right altitude, and then we'll come around to our steer point. While I'm doing this, I'm going to TMS aft long. I just reset to the current steer point. You can see it on the lower left of the HUD. So now we'll be able to fly towards our steer point, and then we'll be making the TGP is going to be soy, and then we'll do China hat aft. We can actually do that now while we're coming up to altitude. So let's make the TGP soy, China hat aft, and that's our target. Now we're already on narrow on the TGP. We're already got the code switch aft. All we got left to do is to find the targets, and we're up 11,000. Let's start coming around and slow down. Slow down to 70. That should be good. Come on, Bruce, get up here. We gotta start searching for our targets. Alright, let's turn on the autopilot. Let's search for our targets with the slew. Here's the road. See, north is to the left, south. From here, there's got to be a road. Here it is. There they are. They just made it to the road to head west. Let's zoom in the rest of the way. Let's change this to point. Now what we got to do is get the second or third vehicle into... Boom! Wait a minute. Now it won't track until we get closer. We're at 18 miles. We got to get down to like 10. So we'll keep following it. And it'll pick up the track here in a bit. When we see that, we'll be able to see it start tracking 16 miles. I don't want to go any faster. Let's take our time. Hey, I don't want that one. Alright, tank number 2 it is. TMS forward long. turn on the laser, head over to the Maverick, TMS forward short. We're seeking.
Warning,
Let's get
autopilot.
down near our target. Still seeking. It hasn't found, if the laser is on, it's because we're not close enough. It's still seeking right through there. Keep it there. Gotta slow down. We're descending, so I'll go to idle. There it is. We got the target. We're at 9.5 on the range. 9.5. We might do it this time. 8.8 or 7.8 at fire. Come on. I can do it. I can do it. 7.8.
Rifle.
Let's see what happens. Just keep it near that. We're still targeted. We're still targeted. Oh, just hold it here. We're doing great. Doing great. We're doing great. Don't get carried away. We're doing great. We're doing great. I've done this dozens of times. You gotta hit it. Oh. That's why I'm talking to myself. Sorry. I'm delirious. Come on. Laser's still on. Laser's still on. It should hit it. How do we know when it hit? When the laser goes off,
Shack.
Bang! We got it!
Congratulations. You have successfully completed Maverick laser training. You may exit the flight or continue flying. When you are ready to continue, press the space bar.
Well, at least let's take a look at it. Oh, mama, that was the hardest mission I've done so far. Let's go take a look. Come on.
Altitude,
There it is.
altitude.
Excellent. I hope you enjoyed that. That was about the 13th time I tried that mission. That was difficult. That's it for now. Have a good one.